Hi, today I'm going to use an underutilized cut of pork. It's pork neck bones. So a lot of cultures eat pork will use bones to cook food, but pork neck bones actually have a lot of meat. It's just that it's from the neck, and I think a lot of people are turned off by that. But today I'm gonna keep it simple. Use salt, a little vinegar, pepper, and maybe a bouillon cube. I'll figure that out when I do it. Onion and green onion. And I think initially I was not going to do a broth, but I actually want to make extra liquid and do a broth. And instead of the Instant Pot today, I'm in no hurry, so I'm just going to throw this all in the oven at 250 and let it cook for a few hours. So some people will actually clean out everything on the pork neck bone, all the little bones. I'm just going to give it a quick rinse and try to keep this as simple as possible. Alright, here are the pork neck bones. I just rinsed it off. Coarsely chopped onions. I put a quart of water. Have not added salt. So just eyeballing the salt, actually I'll measure it out. It's roughly a half a tablespoon right there. I think that's enough to start. Yeah, that's definitely enough. And I'll add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And some black pepper. You could use any spices you want. You could use seasoned salt, garlic powder, but I kind of want to keep it a little simple. Just wanting the broth and flavorful pork bones. And then at the end, I'll taste the broth and maybe I'll add a bouillon cube. So I'll add a little more water so it's covering the bones. Also, you could add as much or as little water you want. If you're not looking for broth and you just want sort of like a richer dish, you could use probably 2 cups of water. And there's about 2.5 pounds of pork neck bones here. So I'm going to cover and put into a 250 oven and just let it go for 2-3 hours. All right, here are the results after 3 hours. Actually, 3 hours 15 minutes at 250. Let's take a look. Everything's been simmering slowly. Looks like the pork is tender. Let's give it a taste real quick. It's going to be hot, so I'm going to have to let it cool off. One thing about this, I added a quart and a half, which is 6 cups of water to make a broth. But if you just want to do like a pork neck stew, I would just use a cup of water, maybe 2 cups, so you have less water and everything braises. So let me give this a taste and see if I should add the bouillon cube or just add more salt. Salt is actually okay. So I think this is done. I'm going to just cover it and let it steep in its own heat. All right, what I'm going to have with the neck bone broth is some boiled cabbage with butter and black pepper. And since I do have some broth, I'll add probably a half a cup and slowly simmer the cabbage. Slow cooking day Today is a slow cooking day. And I'll cover the lid. All right, here's the final dish. It's a neck bone pork broth with braised cabbage. Let me give this a try. The broth. You could add whatever flavors you like. You could finish it off with hot sauce or salsa. You could use less liquid or more liquid if you want to do a stew. And if you don't want to do broth, I should have got a fork so I could get a small piece of this. But looks like I'm going to eat a big piece. Here's the pork off the neck bone. That's a pretty big chunk. You know, most people think pork neck bones are just nothing but bone, no meat, but there's definitely meat on it. Tender, has a flavor. You don't taste the vinegar that was added. So overall, a nice easy meal. Nothing to rush. You could do it in a slow cooker or a pressure cooker. But since today I was doing yard work, I just decided to just take it easy, do something simple for dinner. Enjoy. Hope you like this dish. All right, one final word. I didn't want to give you the impression that the neck bone was all meat, like eating a pork loin or a pork chop. You do have little bits of meat trapped in between, and you have cartilage. So it is something you pick at if you really want to get into it. But there's other meat that just falls off the bone. So there's something primal and satisfying about just picking meat off the bone. But I'd say overall, I think it's worth a try.